Yo lads, my name's Andrew, and there's a video on this website called Niche Gamer, which states that Sonic Mania will help decide the future of the franchise. And that's bad. Don't get me wrong, Sonic Mania will be a great game. The odds are leaning towards that. But the outcome and the future of that can be bad. As someone who has enjoyed most of the Sonic games, even Lost World on the 3DS, it kind of pains me to read this article. Here's why. It states that in the past decade, Sonic has been a lot more experimental, even though this has spawned some of the worst games in the franchise, yet at the same time it spawned some of the best. Sonic Rush and Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations and others were a good example of this, but the problem is, while they were doing this entire phase, they were doing things too abstract. Sonic and the Black Knight and Sonic and the Secret Rings. If they were successful, which they weren't, you couldn't have really made sequels off of that, and you couldn't really build off of it. So that entire situation was kind of useless. I mean, you could say that they're spin-offs, but the entire spin-off of that kind of era is kind of wasted, because they could have just made a lot more games in the main series. So, but if it was successful, you couldn't really build off of it like you can with Sonic Colors, building off of the Boost Foundation. And yeah, I'm getting off topic, so let's get back to the main subject of the video. Why is it bad? It's bad because if Sonic Mania proves to be an incredibly successful game, which it will be, the franchise won't evolve further, and if it will do so at an incredibly slow pace. This is worsened by the fact that Sonic Mania has a smaller budget, and Sonic Forces has a bigger budget. And if Sonic Mania is more successful than Sonic Forces, it will further convince Sega to put all their eggs in one basket, which isn't good. How would I fix it? The way I would fix it would be extremely similar to the current situation. I'd say get Christian Whitehead and Headcanon to work on side games of the Mania type genre, whilst keeping the primary team working on the main games, like Sonic Forces, and maybe a sequel to a few other games like Sonic Colors and stuff. But if they were to do that, I'd really hope that they get rid of all the gimmicks in the modern games. For example, in Sonic Generations, it's half and half of classic Sonic, and Sonic Forces, modern Sonic is like literally only a third of the game, because the other 2/3 are classic and the Avatar. So, how I would fix it is, in the modern games, just make it modern Sonic, as I think that we won't really need classic Sonic. I mean, in Sonic Forces we don't even really need classic Sonic, because, you know, Mania. And I also want them to do, not, like, no gimmicks at all, because Sonic Generations, half of the game was classic Sonic, and half of the game was modern, and I kind of just want them to like be like, hey, we're not going to rely on classic Sonic to push sales. I just want them to go full modern, and just leave behind all the gimmicks, leave behind the Werehog, leave behind like 80% 2D sections. I just want a full modern game. Apologies for the short video, I just had the urge to make this. I'm extremely excited for Sonic Mania and Sonic Force. They genuinely look like great games. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, share with your mates, subscribe, and bye.